Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. Get subscribed to the channel. We're trying to catch the 49ers report here on Bears Now. Chase Sr., the host of the 49ers report, has them at over 35,000 subscribers. We just crossed 27, trying to close in as fast as possible. Come on. Justin Fields is better than Trey Lance. Everybody knows that. Chase even knows that. Let's get to the 49ers report and pass by them as soon as possible. In all seriousness, if you love the Chicago Bears, we got daily videos for you guys, so just hit that big red button and subscribe. And on today's show, let's debate Justin Fields versus Andy Dalton. You're watching Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. On today's show, let's talk a little quarterbacks here. Andy Dalton versus Justin Fields. A lot of drama already. Matt Nagy's got a lot of pressure to make the right decision here. Now, he continues to double down as Andy Dalton is the starting quarterback for Chicago, which at this point in time makes a lot of sense, right? Nagy did double down over the weekend saying he is QB1. Fields did say that he wants to start, but we'll get to this quote first. Matt Nagy says, Andy is the starter. Andy's going to get the 1 reps. There is that want for all of us to see what Justin can do. We'd be lying to you if we didn't say that or believe that. But we've got to make sure we go through this thing that we do what's best for the Bears and for Justin. And what I want to ask you guys is, do you believe Matt Nagy when he says that Andy Dalton is the starting quarterback? Do you believe him? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you believe Matt Nagy when he says Andy Dalton is the Bears starter? Now, for now, and I certainly do at this point in time believe what Matt Nagy is saying, there's no doubt at this point in mid-May, 4 months before the season starts, Andy Dalton is QB1. I think we all know that. I think deep down, even you hardcore Bears fans who want to see Justin Fields play know that as well. Andy Dalton enters this offseason as the starting quarterback. I just don't think there's any doubt about that. You paid him $10 million. You brought him in here to start. Now, obviously, things changed when Justin Fields was still on the board at number 11 in the NFL draft, and you were able to acquire him. That being said, Nagy and Pace have been consistent in the sense that they've said, hey, we got to do this the right way. We can't force Fields into action just because that's what we're excited to do and that's what the fan base is excited for. Have to take this thing seriously and be patient when it comes to Justin Fields. And again, and something I'm going to continue to preach to you guys as well, it's not like Andy Dalton is a total bum. Now, obviously, do you want him starting the entire season? Of course not. At some point, we all want Justin Fields to take over. The only scenario he doesn't take over at some point this season is somehow Dalton's got the Bears, as a major contender, which, based on recent memory and recent history, that's probably not going to be the case, right? Do any of us think Andy Dalton's going to come in here and win 12 games? No, but can he keep you afloat? Can you be a 500 type of team? And then when Fields is ready, turn to the rookie? Absolutely. Dalton went 4-5 as a starter last year with the Dallas Cowboys, who had major issues on that roster, especially defensively. I think he's serviceable. I think you can afford to be patient when it comes to Justin Fields. For now, I believe Matt Nagy. I do think Andy Dalton is the starter as we sit in mid-May. Now, how many games will Andy Dalton start this season before Justin Fields takes over? Maybe you think it's 0. Maybe you think Fields will start week 1. Get your votes in. How many games will Andy Dalton start in 2021? Now, I mentioned that Justin Fields clearly wants to start. He wants to be the guy. He's got that alpha male mentality. Bears rookie minicamp took place this weekend, and Fields reportedly had total command. No BS. He was taking it very seriously and was guiding the other rookies that were out there and took all 3 days very seriously and had total command of how those practices were operating. And to me, did not carry himself like a backup quarterback normally would. Here's what Justin Fields had to say this weekend. He said, look, everyone on our team should be striving for a starting job. If you're not, then there's no reason to be here. I'm going to do everything that I can to get that starting job. It's not up to me. Coach Nagy has a set plan on my development. I'm going to work hard, keep my head down, and keep grinding. Now, a couple of things here. Number one, you got to love Justin Fields' attitude. That's what you want your rookie star quarterback to say. Now, let's be careful here, too. A lot of you guys are reading that and probably thinking, oh, he's going to cause controversy. No. Go watch the clip. He's saying, hey, I want to be the starter, but Nagy's the coach. I understand that, and I understand that these things take time and it's patience, but he has the right attitude of saying, hey, I'm not going to look at this as a backup quarterback. I'm coming in here intending to start. It may not happen week one. It may not happen right away, but you got to love how Justin Fields is approaching things as he's taking on the challenge of being the next franchise quarterback for the Chicago Bears. And if you like Justin Fields' attitude, come on, get a jersey. The hype train, it's left the station, but luckily jerseys are still available at chatsports.com/Fields1. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. It's the highest sold jersey in Chat Sports history, and we got more available. chatsports.com/Fields1. And if you're on a bit more of a budget, maybe you're a college kid and you're like, man, I don't have $100 or whatever, we got the jerseys, if you will, the jersey shirts for just $34.99. A pretty good price here for authentic Nike t-shirts here. Chatsports.com/Fields1. Check the comments, check the description. That link will be in there. Get a Justin Fields shirt or jersey or t-shirt, hoodie. There's all kinds of stuff at that link. Chatsports.com/Fields1. Now, selfishly, we all would like to see Justin Fields play week one, right? I would like to see it, but the only way I want to see him play week one is if he's so above and beyond clearly a better option than Dalton based on offseason workouts and preseason and all that stuff, that they're just like, we just have to start this kid. Like, we don't have an option to not play him over Andy Dalton. But if it's close at all, playing the veteran probably makes sense. Now, I mentioned that Justin Fields reportedly had total command and was all business at rookie minicamp. Here's what Larry Borum, fifth-round pick out of Missouri, said, look, he's 100% about business. It's not fun and games when we are on the field. He wants to do the job at the highest level. I'm fired up about Justin Fields. This guy's not messing around, guys. He wants to come in here, and he wants to be great. I keep looking back at that photo that the Chicago Bears social media team posted of him looking in the little the trophy case with all the Bears greats jerseys, Walter Payton and all these other guys. You know what he noticed? There was no franchise quarterback jersey hanging there because the Bears have been starving for a franchise quarterback. Fields can and wants to be that guy. He's taking this seriously. He's thinking Super Bowls. He's thinking greatness, and he's not messing around, and that's why he wants the job from day one for the Chicago Bears. Now, if you're excited to watch Justin Fields play, go ahead and type me down in the comment section. Hey, I am fired up to see Justin Fields play, whether it's in week one or later on in the season. So get your votes in. Type me down in the comments if you are excited to watch Justin Fields play this year. Now, the only question is, when is that going to happen? So we'll just kind of run back through the schedule here. Week one at the Rams. Again, that in itself is a great reason to not rush Fields onto the playing field. The Rams have a damn good defense, and Aaron Donald chasing him around in his first start, that could be a little worrisome. Week two against Cincinnati, that could be an opportunity. Week three at Cleveland. Week four against the Lions, I think that could be a game where maybe you make the switch to Justin Fields. Maybe it's week five against the Raiders on the road as well. That's a defense that really struggles. You got the Packers in week six, at Tampa Bay in week 7 before the 49ers in week 8, and at Pittsburgh in week 9 before a week 10 bye. Week 11 against Baltimore, at Detroit in week 12 for Thanksgiving, and then week 13 against the Arizona Cardinals before you hit the final stretch. And I think by this point, Justin Fields will have certainly taken over before the stretch run of at Green Bay, Minnesota for a pair of primetime games, at Seattle versus the Giants, and then at Minnesota to end up the 2021 NFL season. It's going to be fascinating to watch the next several months throughout the offseason between Andy Dalton and Justin Fields. So what do you think? Who's going to start in week one? Type AD for Andy Dalton. Type JF for Justin Fields. After he got drafted, I was like, it's probably going to be several weeks before he takes over, but if he continues to ball out and take command of this locker room, hey, maybe he will eventually end up being the week one starter. Get your votes in AD or JF. Now, for now, like I mentioned earlier, I said Dalton is QB1 for now. And for now, I'm saying he will start week one. If you had to tell me tomorrow, hey, put a gun to my head, say who's going to be the week one starter for the Bears, I'm going to say Andy Dalton. Like, until we get into camp, and when I say camp, I mean like training camp and preseason, all that stuff, you just got to go with what Matt Nagy is saying, right? Like, Andy Dalton hasn't even taken a practice rep for the Bears yet, so we haven't even seen this guy play in this offense. I think he'll be the Week 1 starter, but I definitely do not think he will start the entire season. We will see Justin Fields sooner rather than later, and hey, we'll see him in the preseason as well. Now, a quick reminder, subscribe to the channel. We're growing like crazy here on Bears Now. I want to catch the 49ers report, so hit that link below, youtube.com/Bears Now. Click that subscribe button. We want to grow as fast as possible here on Bears Now, because the more we grow, the more videos we can do for you guys. If you're watching this on Monday, live show tomorrow here on Chicago Bears Now, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time. We will see you then.